Hi, this is Carol Mixon from Skill Check Services, and I have written a book, and I hope you're excited about this because I sure am. And I have made good use of COVID time when I wasn't out speaking and doing all kinds of consulting. So I stayed home and wrote a book on auditing, and I hope you like it. Let's just talk about the importance of auditing and self-storage. You know, it's so interesting because there's several facts that about self-storage that make it more susceptible to people stealing. And one of them is just people have very little supervision. The other thing is the owners and the supervisors really may not know enough about self-storage management software to know how people steal. And the other thing is, you know, the small businesses really have 2 times higher theft than large organizations, from payroll, that's people stealing time, or even embezzling money. And 46% of owners decline to prosecute theft. So when no one really out there in the storage business is going after the manager that steals, it really makes it, there's no precedent where someone says, oh yeah, they got caught for stealing or anything like that, because I can tell you there are people that I have caught stealing at multiple owners' properties throughout the years. And one guy, I think it's like on his 7th owner now. And I keep telling people when, as soon as he gets there, and I know he's there, I tell him what he did and they can still lead him, which is really odd to me. There are also things that I'm going to be talking about, like techniques of auditing and how to prevent theft. You can discover various ways that employees steal, and you will find out which reports to watch closely and the indicators of theft in those reports. So when you're watching these key indicators from your self-storage management software, and they will alert you to their possible theft or some kind of data manipulation or mismanagement. I mean, that can happen too. So the embezzlement methodology in self-storage, there is a way that people steal. And there are a variety of methods that they use, from mystery spaces, which is not as common anymore, but they found different ways to make the spaces a mystery. Also deleting spaces, transferring credits from one tenant to another and not moving them out when they should be moved out, and also just changing it to a zero rent, taking a cash payment and then putting them back in. So it's very interesting the way people are finding to steal now. It's not as it's more covert for sure. Also, you know, in my book, I thought, you know, this is so boring. You know, this topic is boring. It's not very interesting. So I tried to include lots of stories about auditing and my experiences throughout the year. And I had one in particular that I thought was interesting, and I thought this is kind of a small one here that I wanted to share, but it was about a self-storage owner that contacted me, and he said, you know, the management, like the effective rate and the actually occupied rate is like 18% off. And I thought, wow, that is too much. That is not normal. And so I looked in the reports and I found that there were like a bunch of 3-month specials for half price for 12 months. And then I thought, and they were all cash paying customers. And there were other oddities that I found. While doing my audit, I actually got to confirm with customers that they got some kind of special, but when it went into the computer, it was actually overtime. Then they thought, well, I didn't get that many specials. So when initially they had a special, but not overtime. So they're like, yeah, we know what you're talking about, but 89 of them. So, you know, I thought at first it was a slam dunk that this assistant manager was stealing. It was all on her initials in the computer. And then I realized, I looked and I'm like, wait a minute. This transaction was done at 1 in the morning, and it's their resident manager, so wouldn't they know if the assistant was at the store that late at night? So I thought, wait a minute, something's amiss. So I started looking through it. Every single one was on this girl's initials. And I thought, you know what, wouldn't the managers know if the assistant was there in kind of the wee hours of the morning? You know, you would kind of maybe hear them downstairs or hear there's something going on in the office, or, you know, that they deactivated the alarm. I thought there's got to be some weird thing about this. And then I looked and I thought, no, you know, this couldn't be quite right. I talked to the assistant, and she'd never gone there in you know, odd times. And so come to find out, I talked to the owner and I said, let's go talk to the managers. We kind of had coffee together. And so I sat down, and the owner, he was really shocked. He knew, you know, basically that there was something wrong, but he didn't think the managers were doing it. He thought, you know, probably the assistant, but never the manager. But when we began the interview, and kind of was like more of an interrogation than an interview because we were both the owner was like, he just was pretty direct, and I was trying to be kind of calm and let just see what we could get out of them. But the husband finally admitted that he was taking the assistant manager's password and manipulating the data in the software. And he was giving people credits and then taking the cash and then doing the deposit, fixing up the deposit. So, the wife kind of confronted him about, what have you been doing with all this money? And, that's like another story for you that if you see me at a conference or something, we can have a margarita or two and I can tell you what the manager was doing with all that money. So I really appreciate the time that you've taken to listen to this. If you go to the Mini Storage Messenger website, you can find Auditing for Fraud by Carol Mixon, and it's only $29.95. And I guarantee you, this can be a book that you can use for years. And it has all kinds of information in it that you're going to need if you're going to audit, and it will really help you, I guarantee you. Do a quick search for Auditing and it's going to come up, and you can get it ordered now. I believe it should be in soon. And again, my name's Carol Mixon Crindle, and find me on the internet or Skill Check Services if you'd like to talk to me about it. Thanks a lot, and happy renting, or happy auditing in this case.